Alright. Imagine having a stream startup screen. That would be cringe. Let's see. Do this. This. Alright, and that should be public. And go over to YouTube. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, the mic is terrible. I really should not have pulled up my own stream. This was a mistake. Okay. Beautiful thumbnail. GG. 100%. Okay. Editor here, this here. Okay. Let's see. This should be live. Uh-oh, what'd I do this time? Oh, I did dox myself immediately. Freaking. Well, the more you know, the more you know. There you go. I've also got food in the room this time. And if you could talk in the chat, that would be more useful for my engagement numbers. I don't know. Because I've got the chat pulled up and pinned on top of all other pages. Plus, don't want to clutter up this mapper circle over here. It's funny because I even got access to the judging document with my second email so that I wouldn't accidentally dox myself. And that went very well. All right. I'm going to do some of these dynamic maps today. Because I looked at a couple of them on my own. And they were freaking hilarious. YouTube is not working at the moment. Okay. Well, gonna go ahead and pin Alright. I don't want to sign into... Okay. So I've closed out my only way of seeing chat. You see, I'm a bit of an expert streamer myself. Oh boy. Okay. Details. How do I... Okay. Pop out chat. Okay, now this should work. Isn't this great to have the first couple minutes of these streams just be me suffering? I love this. You'll have to vote for me at the Streamy Awards or whatever those things are called. Oh my goodness. Alright. So, I looked at one of these maps quite a bit already. And it was Kill Switch. You see, I was just skimming through the maps and then I found Kill Switch here, my boy Kill Switch here. And it's a very interesting map. I can't decide whether or not I love or hate it. Just download that. I haven't looked at it in the editor yet, just the overview. It is fascinating what possessed this map maker to create such an abomination, but also such a beautiful abomination. Editor. Thank you. I got some Jimmy John's today. Aloha, Oklahoma. Oh, wow. From the overview, this did not look sparsely decorated. This is nice. I like this. So, yeah, this is an interesting one. I looked at it a bit already. One of the things that I already thought was just like this area. The only thing I thought would be a direct improvement to the map would be just moving like this mineral liner, just like slotting this not like that, but slotting this bad boy so that it doesn't take up room. What's it? There you go. I don't know, just something over here so that this, you can actually rotate and fight around in this area if the enemy ends up opening this, or if you end up opening this. That's the only minor complaint I've had before, and that's something that would be so easy to fix in revision. Anyways, major things about this. Obviously, mineral wall out of the main, mineral wall out of the nat. And at first I thought this was reflectional symmetry because I saw the second mineral wall, but no, it's like two separate mineral walls. I have no idea what to think, because it's so weird and different. I do know that the third base is going to be pretty hard to take, just in general. I think Terran and Protoss will probably always want the triangle third. Or I do think that they probably would always want this base, because you can defend this choke here and this, and just either this or this if they walk all around. But if they walk around, then they are kind of dedicating more time and dedicating themselves a lot more, because it's going to be a lot harder to actually retreat from that area if you lose a fight. But at least you get high ground. I think this triangle third is really well set up. But I don't know exactly where a Zerg will take a third, if I'm being honest. My best guess would be the rich gas here, because I don't think you would want to take the triangle because of like drops and whatnot, unless you're one of the Zergs that does like to take the triangle regardless of drops. This base might help you just push the creep forward a lot on the map. I don't know, it's really crazy, especially because there's even 4 levels of terrain here. So the reason I think it feels really small is because it's a normal-sized map, but it's got 4 levels of terrain. And in order to put that many levels of terrain into a map, you need it to be... Oh, it's 144, 136. I guess it's a little small, but... Or kind of standard size. What was this in? Dynamic? Yeah, this was in dynamic. They didn't know how to categorize this. What is the map maker description? They said Rush Macro Map. That's how you know you're in for a good time. Bit unique layout. Short rush distance, but a lot of expansions. Backdoor to the main that has access to a Zelnaga tower to compensate main being exposed from many directions. Backdoor to the natural can provide easy access to some safer expansions, which is definitely true. I closed the wrong tab. Which is definitely true. Rocks, which also has a backdoor to the main, and the natural also has a backdoor, 3 rows of 10 each. The base layout is bonkers, far from typical rake. Oh boy. Oh boy. He said the thing. Guys, he said the thing. But mineral walls can provide easy access to safer expansions in the corners of the map. I really like a lot of what's happening in the map, if I'm being honest. Like, is this going to be a good map? Like, is this gonna be played on the pro scene at all? I have no clue. Will, like, I don't know, the more crazy players, Mio, Micah, Haas, Goblin, stuff like that, will they have a good time with this map? Probably. No, maybe not though. I mean, that rich gas is blocked by a rock, which doesn't let you do a lot of stupid shenanigans super early on. It just lets you do them a little bit later on. I could see some fun builds happening with, like, and I should undo this change that I made over there. I could see some fun builds happening with, like, 3 base mutas or something. I don't know. I also love this watchtower in the main. One of the biggest problems, and actually I'm going to use, I know it's a crime. It's a crime, I know. I've been playing a lot of team games. This map is the worst garbage, and one of the reasons this map is so awful is because the main bases are in the middle of the map, and the map is relatively short, top to bottom, which is a very similar thing here, just on a different axis, of course. They're relatively, like, they're both in the middle. These are very, very close together in terms of air distance, because it's essentially a reflectional symmetry map with how close they are. And on Snowy Mesa, it becomes a problem because you get like Broodlords, Tempests, all the siege machines, or like Swarm Hosts or anything, or Blink or anything, can just kind of abuse these cliffs like crazy. If you're a Zerg player and you spawn in the in this area on this spawn, you actually have to make your lair and all your tech in your natural because your main is so undefendable, including like rotations around and stuff like that. And this map does a lot of really good things to try to mitigate a lot of those problems. You've got the watchtower for one. How much does the watchtower to actually see? I don't know if you can see it that well, but let me just put Marines down. About that. Control Shift F. Oh my goodness. Well, we learned something today. Wait, what is this vision? What is going on here? What has vision over here? Is it these things? Oh, these things have vision or something. Okay, we're gonna just move these for a second. Vision mode is often... I'm not gonna be saving this map, so I think it should be fine for judging, because I won't be saving these maps, but... YouTube, why are you cutting off? Why do you have a big heart emoji right where I want to read chat? Whatever. Inhibitor zones. Yeah, I just removed the inhibitor zones, but it can see. It's basically just a super defensive. Just drops, really. I guess. Like, you're just gonna see drops coming, and you should be able to respond to it always. Well, not always, but you know, it's gonna help enormously. You've also got the inhibitor zones. The inhibitor zones help an insane amount. So the inhibitor zones, I think, allow you, if you wanted to actually take this base as a potential third. Which is kind of crazy. Well, no, it's not kind of crazy, it's really crazy. Because this could be a third base. It's just that you would... Oh yeah, Proxy Stargate. Dang it. Well, Proxy Stargate will be quite nice. I really feel like the biggest improvement that's super easy for me to see is this mineral line. I feel like it could either be rotated to like there or just move some parts of it so that this rotation is easier. Let's see. The slow zones help against Proxy Stargate if it's over here. But if it's coming up on the mineral line, then you're going to be over. Well, then you're not going to be in range of batteries. Maybe you would have the Proxy Stargate right above this ramp. Maybe you could try to abuse the ramp. But then that would actually be hilarious, though, because you might have this battle of them trying to freaking mine out all of the minerals over here so that they can chase down the proxy. I'm assuming it would be Tempest, because, Tempest, or because Void's kind of fell out of favor quite a bit, but that would be really funny to see. But, I mean, yeah. If it's over here, then it's kind of just a normal proxy Tempest. And I just really love these inhibitor zones. I think the best use of inhibitor zones is probably this kind of thing, where you're slowing down drops from being able to rotate in and out of places. Like Reality Simulation in the 3v3 pool did it amazingly well. Well, this was when they were brand new, but he put them right over here. These three inhibitors, or these two inhibitor zones, and then over here, these two inhibitor zones. Those greatly help with defending drops on this map. It actually makes it so that these two extremely exposed bases to the rest of the map, and this is actually an example I've seen a lot actually in practice. It makes it so that these two bases aren't nearly as abusive as they would otherwise be, because you get a good 1 to 2 seconds of extra time before they are in your face, in your nat, or in your main even, for here. And then it also is helped by the really good rotation to go defend that. But I really like Reality Simulation. But I think those are really good. Zergs probably wouldn't take the triangle. There's a high ground right here. They could probably siege up tanks over here. Let's see. Give me the views. Give me the site. Wait, what? Well, it looks like the vision tool screwed up the pathing. Okay, we're just gonna close and reopen this. Do not save, please. Oh, goodness gracious, do not save. That is fascinating, and that explains an enormous amount. Well, that explains an enormous amount about... I had that happen to a friend I was working with a few weeks ago on a map, and I did not know what happened there, so I just kind of rolled back the changes. Because we were working together on a 2v2 map. For him, I don't think it was working on restart, and I want to go into my settings and turn down the freaking enormous sound of that siege tank landing. Is this the good one? No. No, they erased all my sounds. Hey, Salt Lake City. Undo. Well, they undid everything. Just gonna turn it down to 10%, I guess. That's really annoying. I went through and took like an hour and set my sounds up like I wanted them at one point, and I guess that's just gone now. This is not a bad tank spot. Zerg is going to need to be breaking down all of these rocks, of course. But I don't think... I don't know, would Zerg just take this base as a third? I don't know, because it's kind of rough to try to defend. I feel like this would probably be a fourth if you took this as a third. It's wonky. One of the other concerns I had was that the bases are quite far away in some cases. So you've got like first base, second base, obviously. I'm not exactly sure where the third base is for every race, and that's kind of part of the appeal of the map, of course. Also, I like that. And it's kind of part of the appeal of the map, but it's also relatively split map, but it doesn't matter that much because I feel like this base, you're not going to be able to take the top side and the bottom side of the map simultaneously. I feel like that's going to be near impossible. But I don't know. I was a little bit worried about bases being too far apart, just not being able to take more bases. Because, of course, you don't have just an easy time after your natural, really, of any bases. It's really a down and dirty. It's really a down and dirty map. It's going to be really aggressive, I think. I think I really like it. I think an enormous amount of work went into the thought process of everything. I think it's just a really well made map. Oh, I wanted to check what's it called? I wanted to check for normal stuff, like how many stalkers can blink into the main, etc. And dependencies. Give me those dependencies. Give me those bad boys. All right, here we go. And Kill Switch is kind of a fun name. Not that that matters, but... Oh wait, I'm not playing the game right now. Okay, a good amount can blink in all at the same time. But it's not really that bad. I did like that. Let me see. Let's look at this again. Though this doesn't matter as much. I almost feel like this ramp could kind of be shifted a tiny bit to the right. Because it's kind of hard to take a good concave coming at the top of this ramp with your gas in the way again. And you can't really move the gas because I'm assuming... What the heck was that placement? It didn't place it right again. Give me a hatch. Alright. Yeah, I already did fast build. Well, I have a cheat. I have a button that I can just press on my keyboard. A combo to do fast build. I just had a trigger that whenever I start building a building, it will set the progress of that building to 99%. Yeah, no, this is good. And these are each 10, so that's 30 in total to get a tiny path through. Okay. Let's see, 2000 HP, 3 armor. Okay, that's all normal. Question, can I... No, okay, I can't. And I can't blink over here. Oh, I can technically blink over here. But... Okay, yeah. With some effort, I can blink back and forth from here. But that's only one stalker. That doesn't really matter that much. That's never going to be consistent. It's a blink spot. We can also come over here. It's not too bad. What was I looking at? Oh, yes. 5, 5, 5. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this is actually, it's going to be as quick to mine out this mineral wall as it is to mine out this one. It's just a couple of extra patches over here. But it's pretty much the same. And on the bright side with this one, you can't just mine it out with mules either. I don't know, I think it's a good map. I don't really see anything concerning here, anywhere. Yeah, and what I said about this gas being moved or something to like up here, like seeing how much room there is kind of in front of this choke, that might not even be really necessary, to be honest. Like, this is a good choke right here, and your defensive line is kind of going to be over here. The gas isn't really going to get in the way. Not much. Maybe a little bit. And maybe it could get moved, but it's not a big issue. Oh, that's funny. The tank is continuously not being affected by the inhibitor zone for a second or two because it's moving so quickly because of the behavior I added. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is just... Oh, that's quite nice. Oh, that's quite nice. Cover a couple of angles over here. But, I mean, you do have to have a few tank spots. It's not going to just... I'm just going to have a map with absolutely anti-Terran. I mean, this just seems good. I have really... the only complaints I really reasonably have about this map is that I don't know how it will play. And that's not a complaint. That's the entire purpose of the contest. What's going on here? Ah, I see. Scouting is key. Can you... Okay, wait a minute. Is there... Alright, going back to the top here, though. Tidewalker. Media Fire. I mean, yeah, just a solid map. I think I'm probably gonna rate it pretty highly. I think it's very, very well thought out. And I think it's really cool. It's not just experimental. I mean, it is quite experimental, but it's not just like... I don't really feel like they just threw things in for the sake of throwing things in. I feel like, for example, that Zelnaga Watchtower is very intentionally placed, and it's not just slapped in there, because sometimes when I'm doing, I don't know, sometimes some of my 2v2 maps, I'll just be like, hey, what can I put in this area to make it worthwhile, and I'll just kind of like slap a Watchtower or something in there because I'm kind of lazy, or, you know, just kind of a quick solution. Nothing in that map really felt like it was just, you know, just there to be there. And now I've completely doxed myself, including my email. Okay. open this map before I dox myself again. Man, I'm really hitting the... I'm probably going to go back through. I'm just kind of adding, like I did with Rush yesterday. Oh, I didn't add anything here. We're going to just open this up. I'm going to write up comments while you guys get a look at this. So my complaints about this map, where it's a good map. It's well made. There's some cool stuff happening in here, but it's very open, or quite open at least. There's no dead space behind the main, so you can't hide drops or anything. There's an OV pillar at the natural. So right here, there's an OV pillar at the natural. Right here, there's another OV pillar. There's very few chokes in the middle. This whole area is not beaded at all. There's just it's just open space. There's no dead space behind the main. There's no real tank spots anywhere at all on the entire map. There were only a couple that I could find, like right here would be a nice place to set up a couple tanks to try to control this area. Or inside of this mineral line, which makes you stop mining. But, like, it is not fun for Terran. This map is not going to be fun for Terran. And, I mean, it's the OV pillar at a natural, because I am a Zerg player and I have bias, but, like, an OV pillar at the natural, I've kind of been dissuaded from that doctrine at this point. But it's still okay if the map isn't Zerg favored, but the map is Zerg favored. There's an OV pillar at the natural, there's another overpilly over here, and there's no dead space really anywhere on the majority of the map for any drops to hide. So, like, over here, there might be some dead space. There's no dead space behind main. There's no in between main and that. There's some in this back portion, but that's not really that relevant. It's all just... I don't think a single Terran on the planet is ever going to want to play on this map. Because it's cool, but... It's cool, but it's got... yeah. It's got some issues there. Which is funny because I hate Terrans. I really hate Terran players. Though I do enjoy playing against mech. I used to hate playing against mech, but now I love playing against mech because it's the thing I'm best at playing against. But I digress. Anyways, Tidewalker. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. This is not usually an aesthetic I like. I'm of course not going to judge anything based off of aesthetic. This is not an aesthetic I usually like. But this is pretty cool. Yeah, that is pretty cool. OV pillar right there. Patches, how dare you? Wait, what did I do? Just say that I don't usually like this aesthetic? Oh, Terrans. Oh no, you guys are awful. Okay, so here's the problem. Terrans have more skill than I do. And that's not okay. And they can use that skill to split their bio at 1,800 miles an hour. Like, and then I just can't do anything. And then they're just, like, dropping everywhere, and then I just can't keep up. So as a player, I kind of hate Terrans. But I also think watching Terrans play the game, especially bio Terrans, is some of the most entertaining stuff. So good at pro scene. It's so insane. So, I also have a lot of friends who think Terran should be deleted from the game. It's so funny. 1,800 miles an hour splitting. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's very impressive. This aesthetic is about as good as I feel like it could be without me disliking. But honorable macro bio Terrans. I think that Bioterrans are the ones I hate playing against the most as a player, but love watching the most as a viewer. And I think mech players are the ones I hate watching the most as a viewer and love playing against most as a player. Because as a Zerg, when I play against a mech Terran, I get to just... let me zoom out. I get to just kind of build up whatever army I want, and then kind of do that cinematic thing where you're just rushing into the enemy with just wave after wave of units. And I get to do one of my few strong suits in StarCraft, which is catching people out of position, getting like easier complete map vision. You know, I can play kind of at my own pace, and I get to determine the game. And I've also had so much practice against it that my win rate is insane against it. But anyways, I digress. This is a 4-player map. 0 out of 5. No, I'm just kidding. He might have used height maps. No, not increment that. I don't know. Read description. Thank you. You guys got to keep reminding me to read descriptions. All right. Asymmetrical 3-on-1 map. That is actually... I saw another map say the same thing. Oh, it's the one right below. Asymmetrical 3-in-1 map, fixed start location pairings. Top left versus bottom right is macro. Top right versus bottom left is standard. I'm going to read this out while I look at it. Wait, where'd it go? Wait. Oh, that's stupid. That is the wrong... Oh, my mouse was on the wrong... Okay, thank you, Google Sheets. Okay. Now we have the right one. That is really funny. I was like, wait, I've seen this before, and then I looked right below it. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is the quality of judge you guys got here. Reads the descriptions, but they're wrong descriptions. Alright. Your opponent only spawns horizontally to you or diagonally across. So these two or diagonal, or these two are diagonal. So never top bottom. Huh, okay. To expand vertically more efficiently, you can open the backdoor mineral wall in the natural, which is a double row of 10 minerals. In the middle, there is a watchtower. Freestyle features, restricted spawns, left versus right, backdoor walls, and natural. No, it's left versus right. It's left versus right or diagonal, which is really cool. I've actually never seen a feature like that implemented before. Just taking a bite. Okay, so Omni. Remember how you made anomaly found, which I may have seen in one of the other categories, but you remember how you made anomaly found and then everybody thought it was cool? I think you might have spawned anomaly found TLMC. Because it feels like every single map in this TLMC has like 5 different options for third bases. You know? I just thought that's funny. Because Zero Map was one of the first where I saw that kind of thing, and I'm sure there were others, but it just feels so far like the TLMC. Yes, I see that as a very good thing as well. I think it's a cool layout. And especially seeing other people iterate on the cool layout to make other interesting things. It's an amazing thing. It just feels like the TLMC after Golden Wall or something. Mm. All right. Main nat third question mark. And there's no gas changes or mineral changes. This is a unique positioning for a mineral wall, especially considering you're never going to have top versus bottom. Wait, so this is a map where your opponent can only spawn in one of two places. Huh. So it's kind of, huh. Wait, so we kind of neatly, with only having 3 spawns, you kind of really neatly get around the whole issue of having to, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you scout one spawning location. I mean, unless you're stupid and you scout the only one they couldn't be. But you scout one spawn location and you know where they are, regardless. That is really nice. The only thing that's going to be, let's see, what was the rush distance? What's the rush distance? The rush distance was... No, it is not very noob friendly. That is one of the biggest issues, I think. Because I think for new players, but at the same time, it's like, I kind of rather have really interesting maps, even if they aren't very noob friendly. Like, yeah, it is something to take into consideration. But for newer players, if they're scouting, oh, that's also very cool. I remember seeing that. I did something like this with different spawns at different locations in an arcade game or something like that. That was kind of Melee-esque. Main ramp to main ramp is 41 or 45 seconds. I think a typo was made because the ramp to ramp distance is 3 seconds to 37 seconds. The nat to nat distance is 30 or 34. So it's pretty solid. It's not very much a for newer players, it doesn't really matter what your opponent is doing if you're going to make battle cruisers regardless. But yeah, I don't think it's a huge issue, to be honest. I mean, StarCraft 1 has the same problem, and it's not that much of a barrier. StarCraft 1 has a lot. Yeah, that 3 should definitely... Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's just really funny to see 3 seconds. Can you imagine a 3-second rush distance? Depending on where the opponent spawns. Ferb, I know what we're going to do today. 20 bases total. That is a lot of bases. And it's 148 is the size. So it's either going to be left versus right or diagonal. I think the map is a lot more interesting when it's... Is it more interesting when it's diagonal? Wait, no. You're just going to expand away from your enemy. Because it's not a 2v2 map. You don't have another ally or enemy. Huh. My brain is hurting. I like the center watchtower. I think if your opponent spawns in the... if you're left-right sides, then you're probably going to want to take this middle base if you're like Zerg or something. Yeah, definitely, I think. And then you're going to want to mine out those other minerals as quick as possible. If you're left-right. Or you could get really risky and do that. Oh no, this is pretty good. The middle ground does kind of look like somebody ate Taco Bell. And then left what happened next out for like a week and a half. But that is kind of that is what algae is. I mean, I did preface this by saying that I'm not a huge fan of the aesthetic in general. I don't know. I'm really a sucker for just clean aesthetics, especially. And just because you said that, I'm going to show you my first map I submitted to a TLMC. So, first thing I want to point out is that I spelled ire wrong in the submission. And they had to put a little note that said, ire intentional typo. It was not an intentional typo. When I made this, I did not know that you could mix and match. I did not know that you could mix and match textures, and this was the first map I really finished ever. It's comedy, man. This map also has an insane amount of bases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, so 18 bases total. And I if I remember correctly, the rush distance was insane as well. Yeah, I feel like I did a pretty good job with what I had, but I did not have much. What the heck is going on here? There is a ground crack there for some reason. I'm not going to pretend to know why. That is definitely not supposed to be there. But I digress. This map, maybe I should remake this map at some point. I had a lot of issues with this map, though, now, revisiting it, that I'm not going to get into, because if I look at my own map and I'm not just trying to judge them and critique them, then I will just turn this into a map-making stream. Dangerous waters. I better not open any Blizzard maps, because I'll just immediately snap and start remaking them. I think this is just a pretty solid map. I think it sidesteps a lot of the issues with 4-player maps. Gotta open it up in game. Also, the testing library that I made is pretty good. I almost feel like we should include it in future TLMCs for judges. Well, the only non-noob friendly thing, though, and I will say a lot of these maps seem very non-noob friendly. And wow, those are some strong colors. It's kind of cool. A lot of these maps feel very not noob friendly. I forgot to put the triggers on it. A lot of these maps seem very non-noob friendly because anything that makes you think and interact with the map a lot more, I think, is not very noob friendly. Like that last one, the kill switch. The kill switch is not a super noob friendly map. Like, there's so much going on in this, but I think this is the best map I've seen so far. But I've only seen 5 maps. But this map is really cool, and there's a lot of really good things going on. But I don't think this map is very noob-friendly, because I think unless you watch the pro scene at the point at which they figure out what bases you most certainly should not take, or whatever, which I guess it doesn't matter that much at a lower level. But I don't know. This map is just... Any map that is freestyle is not generally going to be noob-friendly unless it's a standard map that has a freestyle feature. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking that. But I don't think being noob-friendly is a very big... Yeah. I kind of agree. I wouldn't say that maps do not affect new players at all. I would say they very much do, especially with inescapable features like a 4-player map. I think 4-player maps very much do affect new players. But I feel like Tidewalker here really sidesteps a lot of the issues that make 4-player maps so hard to begin with. And if you're playing the game on 1v1 ladder a lot and all that, I feel like it's... I was about to say Tidehunter, wasn't I? What was Tidehunter? I remember the name. Was that last TLMC or something?
What's going on?
4 TLMC ago? Yeah, that makes sense. Well, listen, time goes by fast when you're an idiot. Also, that zoom, though. Okay. Tank. Give me tank. Oh, and let's do a quick... Yeah, no. It seems like just a cursory glance, it seems fine. This classic layout from TLMC 15 returns. I think that's a good shot of being the first map in TLMC history to become a finalist twice. Yeah. I mean, was it Ice and Chrome and Triton, right? I don't remember if those specifically were the two. I might just be thinking of ice maps because ice maps are on the mind for some reason. Bacon. I love Nemesis, though. Everyone loves Nemesis. But yeah, no, that's also completely true. Oh. Alright. That's good, right? Yeah, okay. Perfect. OB pillar over here, not at the nap, but... I need a Nexus for a... I did not know that I needed a Nexus for a... Oh, that's... If I did this right in the first place... That's cool. So it's a 3 building wall off for Zerg, but a 2 for Protoss. That's actually kind of a cool little thing there. And that should be the same. Yeah, that's going to be the same on all 4 spawns. Alright, now if I give these to the enemy... No, the enemy's sharing vision with me, are they? Yeah, so I can see the gateway, but I can't see anything else in the wall unless I go forward. And then that's a fake pillar. That's cute over there. Oh, wait a minute, is that... Huh.
Mineral field depleted.
This could use some of those invisible walkers. And this doesn't look like it's an OV spot because I don't think I can get onto that. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I really like this OB spot over here. I read the wrong thing at the wrong time. There's also a couple things over here. Those look cool. I like... The more I'm looking at this in-game, the more I'm liking the aesthetic of it. That's funny to see that many waves at the same time.
Mineral field depleted.
OB spots only appear relative to low ground. Huh. All the ground area. And this is kind of another spot. There's quite a few good OV spots. The one place that you can't put OVs is in the middle. But you can kind of scout the corners and stuff. The one in the corner. Yeah. I mean, it's all unpathable anyways. I was just curious. Yeah, I like it. I think I like it. Yeah, go get him, Mr. Tank. Alright, good coverage, but not. Good coverage. Alright, and this is going to stop stalkers from being able to blink up here. This is all pretty standard for blink. This is actually feels a little bit worse for blink, if anything. This is 2 Reaper paths, I think. Yeah, this is 2 Reaper jump up paths. Are there any over here? Can I go over here? No, I can't go over here. Okay. A little bit good for both Blink and Reapers. But the rotation is short to get from the nat to the main. I don't know. Not any shorter than usual. Can Blink in all the way up at 3rd. Oh, up here? Oh, I guess... No, I guess you could. I was pressing the wrong buttons.
Game.
Let me just go into my triggers here. New trigger, melee, init. And that should be map initialization. Set upgrade level. Set blink to level 1 for player 1. Alright, and then I also want... Well, I'm just adding the cheats by default, like blink. It's melee, isn't it? In it? What the heck are you doing? Hyper, stop doing drugs. Gosh. The blink path rotation appears equal or less than the siege tank rotation to me. May need some iteration work on that. Like a keyboard. Oh, yeah. No, that would... Hyper, you're British, you're drunk, go home. That might be good. I don't really have any macro buttons on my keyboard, but I do have some on my mouse. I could do all that, but I mean, I already want to use all the hotkeys for like spawning tanks and stuff. Okay, yeah, no, you can 100% blink the entirety of France up there. Why did I say France? Anyways, ignoring all that. Well, the thing is, you're not going to be sieging tanks up right on the edge. You're going to kind of be like, I don't know, back here. I don't know. I don't think it's a huge issue. I don't think I don't think that Blink is a reason to like nuke this map really. Like it's just kind of good for Blink. Yeah, iteration work. Iteration work. It would be something that would probably we could be able to see in the tournament phase if it's an issue. I don't think I'd take points off really for it because it seems like it's a relatively minor issue. I don't know. Seems solid to me. I don't really see anything wrong with this. In terms of liking it, let's see. I think it's cool. Like you have, yeah, I think the idea as well, and the precedent this sets as well for having left versus right spawns and all of that. I don't know. I think this does a lot of cool stuff. Is there another map that has left and right spawns? Do I have to like? There is kind of. There's a Gridworm here. All spawn enabled 4-player map. I'm just going to open that in the background. Alternative economy for Legacy of the Void. What the heck? Wow, that I am super surprised that something like that would get past cuts. Wow. They really aren't cutting maps. Jeez whiz. Old Magnatha, I wonder who made that. Semi-air map, Winter Eagle. There's a lot of cool things in here. 4-level freestyle, no. 16 base. I'm assuming all 4-player maps would be in dynamic since, or at least we would have the different distances in here. Oh wait, I can just see the distances here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 total more spawn maps. Oh, but there was one in another area. I remember seeing and having already played on several times one of these maps. Oh, Infestation Station is here again. I thought that got... Oh my goodness, holy crap. This was not the Infestation Station I thought it was. What the hell? No, finalist. I want the finalist announcement. Wow, I'm getting a lot of text. Give me a second here. Okay, perfect. This took more than 5. When you have to 5, yeah, this took a little more than 5 minutes. Yeah, yeah. There's no way that only. Yeah, Infestation Station. Let me just. Can I? I really hate myself, but I have to shitpost. I'm saving this picture for later, and I'm saving this picture for future shitposting. Okay. I had to save those. So you guys will see that in the chat later. Okay, Hyper, I have your profile, Station Infestation. Yeah. I have your profile picture because in the map making, in the map maker's, what's it? The Team League thing. Remember how we were swapping around profile pictures? And somebody had your profile picture, but it had that little, like, what was it? It had yeah, anyways, it was for somebody else who wanted your, I think it was like character or something. He wanted your profile picture, but, well, he didn't ask for it, but I gave it to him because it was hurting me, the fact that he had your profile picture, but it had the little Discord, like, busy icon in it. I'm gonna stop talking now. We're going on so many tangents. Let's take... I really shouldn't be looking at this. Why am I looking at this right now? I was supposed to be looking at other stuff. Okay. Took some more magic ADHD med pills here. We're good to game. Why? It's an infestation pit. What am I looking at? The hell? It's literally a barrier. It's a barrier fueled by, I would say, I'm just going to say this is fueled by Monster Energy, but I mean, actually, in actuality, there's just a nidus here. Why is there... What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Yes, read description. I have to know what they were thinking. My goodness. How did I stumble upon this absolute Giga Chad energy of a map? Yeah, What are you saying? This looks very Zerg. This is great decorations. Infestation Station, right? I'm a terrible person. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't really want to say it, but it kind of gives off, never mind. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 levels of terrain. Not gonna say it. Okay. Alternative hilarious idea as well. Whenever these pools die, well, it was a mean thing to say, okay? Whenever these pools die, they're just like hostile broodlings. The game just turns into a freaking, like, survival mission for 10 seconds while the broodlings kill everything. The Terran's just trying to tank push across the map, and then the broodlings explode from every side, and it's just like, we're completely surrounded. And then the Terran player just GG's. No, they are neutral. They are neutral. Wait, no, they have to be neutral. There's no way they're hot. Okay, I'm reading the description before things get worse. Yeah, see, neutral Zerg infestation. You know that part in the campaign where the Zerg just takes over a settlement, but then they're just kind of chill? You know, they're smoking weed and they're just kind of hanging around, you know? They kind of, you know, occasionally help you carry your groceries out from your car, you know? Why can't all Zerg be like that, you know? Anyways. The corner areas in the gold base are blocked from the start. A spawning pool in your natural helps you see when the spawning pools will die. The Nidus worms can be killed to remove the creep underneath the Evo chamber, so they will start losing health HP as well. Hey, by the way, every time I make fun of somebody for making a typo. I want you guys to bring up the fact that I literally misspelled the word ire in my first TLMC submission. I need to never be able to live that down. Oh, wait, Castle Adventures. This is the same Castle Adventure that I remember. Whoa! Okay, no, it's not. The dragon! He's got... Oh, no, there he is. There he is. Dragon's still here. Okay, perfect. The original Castle Adventure, Retro Castle Adventure map was, in my opinion, very deeply flawed. I hope it isn't on here now. Are you kidding, Magma Mines? Freaking Magma Mines. I love it. Let's retcon all of the maps, so all the team game map names on Wikipedia. Just don't let me look them up. Make it harder for me to be addicted. Anyways. Alright. So since we're already here, we need to go through with infestation station here. I mean, the description is really just exactly what I thought it'd be. I guess I have to open it now. I will say, they've got some really strong branding here. To have the cojones to call your map the same thing as a finalist from last TLMC. That takes some balls, you know. As for Tide, no. Tide Walker. There we go. As for wait, it's not on ladder, is it? Oh my goodness. If it's on ladder, I'm gonna be very sad with myself. No, it's not on... Okay, thank goodness. I was gonna be like, I don't remember that being on ladder. As for Tidewalker, final thing is just... I think it's just solid straight up. I think it's pretty good. It is a little bit open, but not really that much. There's a decent amount of good chokes in places, but... I mean, there's no really good OV spot. It's just a solid OV spot. It sees a little bit of the wall. It's just going to pretty much always see a gateway. Yeah, I think it's a good map. The only thing is I'm kind of being a Terran judge, ironically, in many cases. But I'm going to close that before I... I'm kind of all over the place at the moment. Open infestation station. Why am I here? Why am I here? Why are any of us here? You know it's a good map when it's giving you an existential crisis. Like, what are we doing? Like, these bases, this entire side of the map is... I mean, these are essentially just rocks. Rocks that you... I can't click on that and see how much... Does anybody remember how much health an Evo Chamber has? Is it by any chance 750?
Game resumed.
Okay.
Game.
Somebody's asking me a question over here. But yes, it bleeds out when you kill a Nidus. But I was more like, well, they're kind of functioning in this sense. They're kind of functioning as just breakable rocks, pretty much. But they regen HP over time, which is cool if they're not broken. And they're they have it's like the small destructible rocks that regen HP is essentially what this is. And then if you destroy the Nidus, then you end up breaking all of them a while later. It is just a very unique thing, but... 1 second, let me respond to this person. Okay, I should be unmuted. There we go. I definitely did not struggle for a minute or two there trying to unmute myself. Okay. Yes, Zerg would have... If Zerg spreads creep over here, then you would then have to manually kill all of the buildings. Yes. And if Zerg spread creep, like, let me look at this. Like, I mean, Zerg is going to spread creep into the natural. Yeah, Zerg is going to make this neutral spawning pool never die. In the natural. There will always be a neutral spawning pool here, if you're a Zerg player. You're just going to get a free spawning pool. I mean, it doesn't belong to you, but, you know, it's free. That's worth something, right? Anyways. Oh, that's fun. I do like that. I mean, the concept of it. It's gonna blast your ears out every time you play, but... well, not blast your ears out, but... OV pillar that is a fake OV pillar, but it's not a fake OV pillar because it's got the LOS blockers. I saw this used in a couple other places. So that is... is that spawning mode... That's a good question. No, it is not. It is permanently blocked. There is a Reaper jump spot, but it is highly, highly limited. It is just cute, yeah. So even Zerglings, yeah, right. Zerglings can't kill it. Why would you care about? Oh, this is a Reaper spot right here. But why would you want to kill this spawning pool? I mean, yeah, it's surrounded by unpathable paint, so yeah, you can't kill it. But I don't understand why you would want to. Do you just hate joy? Well... Let us add, let us attack. Let us attack. I'm sorry, I'm just... Here we go. Yes, it is really cool decoration. Although you don't have much to pick from, if we're being honest here. Also, this decoration right here is definitely covering up spots where you can place quite a few Widow Mines. You can also put a Widow Mine there. You might be able to put a widow mine right there. Might be able to hide something over here. There's a couple places. You can definitely hide something over here. It's not awful, but I haven't even looked at the layout. I'm just having fun with this one. This is funny. This is certainly the most fun TLMC to judge because it's freaking hilarious.
Lay it on me. Can do.
Wow. Thank you, Mouse Cursor. Yeah, Reaper's work here.
Oh yeah, baby. On the way. Agreed.
Why is this still losing health? Oh, they put
You want something?
some some creep blockers under this bad boy. So they kind of thought of that. That is fancy. That's fun.
Fair enough.
And you can't see in there. All right.
Indeed.
So at first glance, this map looked like a total meme.
I'm going.
But it is still a total meme. But if you can't path there, it's because the entire purpose of this spawning pool over here was to make sure that players know when this path becomes
What? You want something?
hostile buildings don't show up on the mini app. But yes, it's to show when all the rest of the spawning pools will die. And then the infestation pit takes a good bit less time? Why would you put an infestation pit over here? Yes. Get played, Omni. Get absolutely played. They said net neutral buildings would show if they find a map that is good enough. That is really nice, and I do think that the neutral buildings, especially Zerg buildings being temporary buildings, for these, I think that is an amazing idea. I think that's just an absolutely stellar idea. That would have a lot of potential opportunities. It'll just be interesting to see if any other maps are able to make use of that really well. But this map definitely makes liberal use of it. I'm just not convinced quite yet here. So at about 3 minutes, are we? Let's just speed this up. Dang it. I'm just gonna remove that button from my keyboard. There we go. Okay, so at 3:45, these gold bases. So my first question is, why would you even put the infestation pits on the gold bases if the gold bases are going to be destroyed by the time you would ever want to take them? Right? They find a map good enough, they'll duplicate a spawning pool that would show on the middle map and for the fucking world. Oh, that's really cool. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. These are neutral. 4:30 is when all of the paths show up on the map. So it was 3:45 and 4:30. And then everything else is going to stay alive.
Something for me to kill.
What in the game has the most health from Zerg buildings? That doesn't generate creep, obviously, like a hatch. Greater Spire? Oh, okay. Wouldn't it not be Ultra Cavern? Or have you already tested? Would there be any way to... Because only 3 minutes, 45 seconds is not the most useful. Like, it'd be really useful if you could have something last, like, a bit longer. I don't know. Like, a timed release. Really what we're doing is we're making really, really stupid timed release doors here. So maybe that's another thing to put in that design document for potential things, is like a path that can open up at whatever time you want. Regardless, now I guess I have to look at the actual map, because I was going to take this as just a joke, but this is not just a shitpost. This was supposed to be a shitpost. I also got played. Like, everything here pointed to it being a shitpost. Like, yes. Please consult the Liquipedia page. Good point. Liquipedia. And let's search infestation station. Unfortunately, I thought, oh no, the map does have an infestation station does kind of have a... Yeah, I know. You muffin. I haven't been called a muffin in a while. Wait, how does Agaton... I thought Agaton had a lot of... Who is it, by the way, that recently left? Was it Avex that recently left? Like, the map making in general? Like, permanently retired and all that? Because somebody just... Yeah, okay, it was Avex. I kind of sometimes wonder how... Wait, does Killer not have a Liquipedia page either? How do some people not have Liquipedia pages? It's kind of crazy to me. RQM definitely. Yeah. Some people here really should. You only have 2 ladder. Well, I mean, Wait, so it's Data C and Solaris? That's really it? Wait, that's it? Mars has a Liquipedia page. See? Though it probably needs to be updated with Oceanborn. Oceanborn is on here. I'm stupid. I'm ridiculously stupid. Well, you're extremely prolific in the community at the very least, but I guess that doesn't warrant a page of your own. I don't know, the problem is you have so many, you give a lot of feedback, and it's really good feedback, but also I feel like you have a ton of finalists every time, but they never get picked or something, because I feel like I keep seeing you and... Okay, so, yeah, I mean, it's true. Okay, I need the music back again here. Anyways, I need to stop. I just need to stop. But seriously, you have so many... It feels like you have so many finalists. By the way, Hyper, did you hear what I said about your map? Because I talked about Cold Steel a little bit more. This is also true. What May said just there. Wait, what the heck? What did I click? What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna deal with that later. I don't know what that was. Among Us. Mutual Surge Station. Let me find it. It was over here in Rush. Cold Steel. I talked about it on stream a bit, but the notes I put down for myself was basically that it was anti-tearing. There's no dead space behind the main. There is there's not there's an OV pillar directly at the natural that can see the wall off. There's another one over here. There's no dead space behind drops anywhere. The entire map is very open. There's no tank spots. You know, it's kind of just not good for Terran other than potentially the parade push over here. What the heck is a tear drinker? This is a tear drinker. I would have said it's just a Protoss player in PvT. Wait. You guys need to stop distracting me, and I need to stop distracting me. Everybody needs to stop distracting me, because this is weird, and I want to read the mapmaker comment. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a dare to think about the terrible, terrible damage I have done. There are 4 groups of linked rock towers. Knocking down on a set of towers will greatly restrict movement for its quadrant. 10 bases. What the hell? What have you guys done? Sick deco. Really like that. Wait, where's the... Wait, it does say 12. Did I count wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Freak! I can't read! I'm not used to everybody tallying it up for me. It's so convenient, but I'm not used to it. My goodness. Huh. Someone used Randsend textures and I wasn't there. Yeah. Maybe. This is going to be really hard to take those further out bases. I don't know how anybody will ever take those corner bases. This seems insane. What is the size? I'm just having at this point. I've kind of gotten to that point where I'm just having a fun time looking at maps, and I'm not judging much because I was going strong and dynamic. I got through an entire map, you know, and then I didn't go strong. Anyways, kill switch. Let's just mark this. How am I gonna mark this? I'm marking the ones that I've looked at. Don't worry, I'm not marking that it's bad. I'm just going to mark this one as really bad, though. Mineral Mania, in last stream we looked at that one. I just think it's undercooked. Cold Steel, I feel like it's really open. No, you don't have to shut up. I'm having a lot of fun here. And I think everybody's having fun just seeing the maps. There's Pacific Rim, which is 100%, I guarantee you, that is... I 100% guarantee you that Pacific Rim is copyrighted. What else is copyrighted in here? Among Us is definitely copyrighted. Well, is it? Could that get through? That maybe might be able to get through. I guess there's not much that's copyrighted in here. It's really just Pacific Rim. Crimson King? What's Crimson King from? And Dynasty is not going to be copyrighted. There's no way Dynasty is copyrighted. Twilight Imperium. Huh. Yeah, that might be copyrighted. Dynasty, yeah, exactly. Dynasty is way generic. There's so many different things with Dynasty in the name. There's no way it could ever be copyrighted. It's just a word. But for Twilight Imperium, 100% copyrighted. Crimson King does not feel like it would be copyrighted. The Dark Tower. Huh. Yeah, I don't think it's... Crimson King is a fictional character with Steve. Oh, okay. Oh, right. I have not read much Stephen King. Anyways, should I keep looking at Infestation Station? My brain hurts when I look at that map. It's not even slow. It very quickly turns to mush. First, second, third. Interesting that this whole section is pretty much blocked off for actually quite a while. Actually, I said it was... Okay, I said it was 3:45 when these guys go down. The infestation pits go down at 3:45. And then the spawning pools go down at 4:30. You're not going to be taking a fourth base before 4:30. I think these spawning pools are well positioned because these actually matter for the 4:30 mark. But I don't think that these spawning pools matter that much. Unless it's just to get rid of the Nidus worms. I guess it's protecting the Nidus worms. Because that's all that there is. And you can't really hit the Nidus worms from the front. You have to hit them up from the back, really, to unlock this section. But if you're a defender, don't you want to keep this open? Or closed, I mean? Like, if you're taking this fourth base, I would probably much rather keep these Nidus worms alive. Shut up, Omni. Just get out of here. Get out of here. Okay? Get out of here. Anyways. That was a little aggressive. Queen Rock strategies. I'm going to time this out once. So assuming you have a hatch over here. Since the neutral Nidus won't die, the creep will still be there. Yes, the creep will still be there. No, I don't think you would ever queen walk to the corner of the map. Like the Nidus could help you as a Zerg spread a lot of creep in this direction just immediately. I thought you were talking about the center of the map because it made no sense to me to queen walk from around this area. The creep could be used to spread tumors. Yes, it could. But that's not the same as a queen walk. I think the best situation for that would be a situation where you take, like, this as a fourth or something, and then you, like, have this whole lane is automatically filled with creep. But yeah, you don't really want the creep there anyways, yeah. But I mean, in a situation, there could be a situation like ZVZ, maybe you might want to have these here. So you might want to keep the creep. Keep the creep 2023. That feels like a political slogan. I mean, I could see a queen. I wouldn't see a queen. I mean, you would have to take this third base for a queen to walk over there and start spreading creep. I don't think it's really... The amount of good that it does to have creep over here is extremely limited in comparison to the amount of nothing that it means. Like, it's very not impactful. What is impactful is that now I can proxy Spire over in this area, and they will not scout it. I think that could be cool. Because you have creep over here and over here to proxy Spire on. And in fact, if I kill this and speed the game up... no, don't bring up the on-screen keyboard. Ironic, I don't have a... Yeah, you could just slap down a Spire right here. You could slap down a Spire over here even. That would be hilarious. And I could totally see that working in a few games. Which kind of makes me like the idea of this a bit more. Can you imagine 3 base, just a proxy in the Evo chamber, you're just secretly getting upgrades. They depower all of it, and you're like, can I get another upgrade before I die? Because they're not even trying to kill you. That'd be so funny. But this is all very interesting. But does the map work at all? Let's see. So, first base, second base, third base, third base locations. And then, yet again, we have another map with a third base potential option. This one is a gold base. Would Zerg just want to take this? Oh! Oh! Okay. That's why they... Here you can see the tactical fluky in his natural habitat. You can actually witness individual neurons firing as he finally forms a coherent thought. The entire reason for these infestation pits was not this space. It was this space, and then I guess it's just symmetrical for some reason. But the entire purpose is so that you can't just take a gold base as your nat, and then have a massive boost as... Foradex... I would say you've missed a lot of context, but you really haven't. The entire purpose of these infestation pits are so that Zerg can't just put their nat on the gold base. Or, I guess their third, it might delay a little bit. That's a really well-placed thing, I think. Though it's not exactly a Pride of Eldaris kind of thing. So, I just want you to take one guess as to what this map is named for, Dex. What do you think? Don't look at the name of it either, because the name of it is on screen. Okay, I don't know if he's gonna guess, but the file path is pretty... Oh, I did it again. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I goofed. Anyways, what did they say that the... Man, I'm so not used to being able to just look at what the rush distances are. This is so nice. Ramp to ramp is the rush distance, usually, right? I always forget what rush distance is until I have to measure it again. I can't remember if it was nat to nat or ramp to ramp. Yeah. So these are all going to be really... Holy crap, that's such a low rush distance. Ramp to ramp is normal rush distance. Thank you. Just double checking that none of these dimensions are absolute insanity again. Or do we have... What's our biggest map? I saw a 60 in here. 164, 164. 160, 112. 172? 144? I think the biggest one is this 164, 164. Look at that in a second. Holy crap. Anyways. We're looking at this. I mean... It's pretty standard apart from the comedy gods that have blessed us this day. I will say I kind of feel like the decoration could use some work. It feels really basic. It feels like whoever decorated this, and I have no idea, absolutely no clue who the map maker is. On this one especially. Because normally I can have a pretty good guess, or I've seen the map in a previous form before. But this one I got no clue. It kind of feels like they haven't decorated a ton, or they really were rushed on time for decorating this. Because it's very sparse. Yeah, sparse. Yeah, I think it needs more time to cook, generally. But I think there are a lot of cool things happening in general. These spawning pools, I feel like... Yeah. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine... Okay. So here's the thing. Map size cap would be actually a massive feature for map making. But it's actually... I don't think it would benefit us. I think it would benefit pretty much... the arcade people insanely hard. They always, and I've done it too, everyone runs into that cap. But the problem is if you increase that cap, you might want to also be able to increase the cap on amount of units or abilities in the game, and that just requires optimization, etc. I am getting completely derailed. Wait, did you say 20? Oh, okay, I read 2015 Katowice. We've gone past that one. These pools are useless. They don't do anything, really. And, like I said, the decoration kind of gets in the way of gameplay in a couple places where you can put Widow Mines behind this. If this went into iteration, then it would need some work on the decorations, I feel like. Because it is kind of cool. It is kind of cool, but I think this is submitted by somebody who was 5 minutes to deadline and currently working on decoration. They made it look pretty good for very, very little time, but this definitely feels like it could have more done to it. Originally, when I saw this, I thought it was made by a very new map maker, which is the main thing I didn't want to say, because... It just, I mean, the shock value of this is pretty great. A map having no decorations equals nostalgia. That's actually really funny. It is I kind of feel the same way actually on that one. It does definitely, especially the zombie bounty maps. I have kind of at times wanted to map make for some of the zombie bounty maps because they're so horribly bad and I'm attracted to awful things. Like Blizzard maps. I think the coolest thing that this map does... Yes, exactly. There are so many smaller things that this cannot have been made by somebody who this was the first or second map. I thought about remaking Megaton at one point, but I decided that I'd rather not kill myself because that would drive a man to madness. Moving on. Yeah, no, this is made professionally because there are so many small things that are just professional, really. But it's confusing and definitely rushed. These spawning pools in the middle are probably my favorite. My second favorite feature is this gold base with the infestation pit on it. I think the infestation pit on it is a really, really cool way of letting you not have to use your army to break the rocks or whatever, but also not letting you take it immediately. It really is just a timer on it. I guess you can break it earlier, but, you know. I think there's some cool things. This isn't very well developed yet. Yes, 100%. Also, these trims don't have creep engulfment. Goodbye. Like, looking at this really feels like I'm looking at one of my maps that is in progress. I just have one color per level. And it's very, very, very readable. I don't know. I don't have much else on this at the moment. I didn't look at much of the just normal map stuff because it's so distracting. Yes, I also want to. I am kind of chewing at the bit to see the massive map. This is now just. This is not as much of a stream of judging as it is. Like, holy crap, we found another one. we found another one. What is going... Oh! That... It makes sense now. It makes sense now! I can't believe some Giga Chad made a 3-person map. There's another one in here too. I believe Last Fantasy is one. Holy crap, the balls you need for a 3-person map. Okay. Main base shape. Checks out. That's a certified 3-player map. Classic. Mapmaker comments. My eyes were immediately drawn to the very last line. Lastly, but not least, 3 spawn positions. Yeah, we just kind of threw that in at the end, you know? Asylum, that was the... Elysium, I mean. That was the one that was super tiny. Yes, this one. This absolute train wreck. Yeah. But, counterpoint, we have Catalina. No, it's not right. It's not right. It's never... Oh, it's right. Yes. Okay. I always get Catalina. I always call Catalina Ohana because Catalina means family. What do you mean? Do you mean not this? Do you mean this map? Or do you mean Elysium or Catalina? Elysium. I have I'm gonna admit something that I'm not proud of, but I have played on Elysium several times. Like at least 5 to 7 times. And I'm not proud of it, but every game that I've played on this has been a free-for-all. I suspect that they'll be taking me away to jail soon after admitting that. It's really bad. It's really bad. I'm assuming Blizzard. Yeah, Blizzard. Have you guys seen Abyss, though? Every time I think this is the worst thing that could have possibly been made in the editor, I have to remind myself that Abyss exists. What do you guys think of this one? Uh-oh. Is it StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2 map? Because Avex made a remake of Big Game Hunters. StarCraft 2? The original Big Hunter StarCraft 2? Axiom map layout. I don't see it here. Is it the one that Avax made it? We are getting sidetracked like no one's business. Let me just drag this away before you see my... You're going to see my email either way. I am not escaping this docs. Get your cameras ready. If you're lucky, you got that one. Unfortunately, I don't have a hotkey to stop my screen, so I just have to go press the stop stream button, but I'm not doing that. Okay, Big Game Hunters. There are a lot of versions. Is it? What's it called specifically? Is it the original Big Game Hunters or just Big Game Hunters? Because there is the Avex one. The Avex one is actually not terrible. Oh, I read that as Bell shit tile set. I am not seeing just Big Game Hunters here. I mean, they're all Belshear tile set, though. It's the problem. I mean, this one... Well, this... Yeah, okay. I'll look at that later. There is this one. You can tell me if this one is right or not. This isn't the right one, is it? I mean, this one's technically not Belshear, but this is the exact same as the other one. It's just that this one took off the rocks on the in-base expansion and then did something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. Yeah, this one was made by Avex. Avex is good. He's real good. This might not be the right one either, actually. This seems slightly different. The two that I've played on. Ping me in the Discord. Awesome. Sorry. I saw it. Um, um, I that was my gut reaction to seeing it. Sorry. Oh boy. Um, it can't be, but it can't be. That it can't be true. Please don't let that be true. We've got a remake. We've got a remake that is closer, but it's closer. This remake is closer to the original. Although it's on the only thing is this is on a different tile set, but I do know for an absolute fact that there is a version of this, or a version very close to this, that is in game, and the in game one is very close to the original Big Game Hunters. But also, I want to point out, this is not the max size. That's interesting. Anyways, for team games, like 4v4s, a slightly bigger maximum size of map could be pretty nice. To go on to a tangent nobody asked about going back to. I just need to decide right now which one I hate more. Okay, counterpoint to this being the worst map. This was not ever on ladder or ever made to a professional degree, or like I'm trying to think of maps that may have slightly remade Abyss, but the problem with remaking Abyss is that it does absolutely nothing. This is literally just a thing where they opened up the symmetry tool, put it to 8, and then drew mains and mats. There's nothing to draw inspiration from. And I'm saying this as somebody who has remade Magma Mines and a bunch of other stuff. Like, let me open up my history here. November 9th. Maybe this is it. Yeah. So this is what I remade. This is what I made out of Magma Mines. Now, you might have to avert your eyes because it is a flashbang, is what it is. I did turn down the brightness of everything after taking this screenshot, so it is a lot less bright than this, and it does look like spicy diarrhea on low graphics, which is something that if I ever were to be able to put it into any kind of contest, it would have to be redecorated almost entirely. Not entirely, but like all the texturing and everything would have to be completely redone. I think it looks great, especially in-game on high graphics, but just that little unfortunate thing. But this is what I got from freaking Magma Mines, and Magma Mines is unique. It's this. I turned this into this. Although, admittedly, I also took a lot from freaking Redshift. I love Redshift. But I took Redshift Nats there and did a bunch of other stuff. But I kind of took some inspiration from the layout, as you can see, of Magma Mines. So if I can even do something from Magma Mines, or why is the path to the line third so tight? Right here? Wait a second. That's a good point. Why did I do that? That's a problem for future me. I don't need the buffer to the Nats? What do you mean the buffer? You buffered for tanks. You don't think I need the buffer to the Nats? Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, no, that's true. Okay, it has. We need to get back on track. I just as a last thought on all this, I did also remake Black Site, or I mostly remastered Black Site, and then I remade Void Zone into a 5v5 map that I deeply regret, but it was a great learning experience onto why not do things. And then I remade a couple other things. So I can take inspiration, liberal inspiration, from awful sources, but even Abyss I can't take inspiration from. You are right. We definitely need to stop with the judging my own maps, though I really, really like it. I'm probably going to change that later. You know what? Let's just go. You can definitely... I would love to see it. I would really love to see it. We're going to go back, and we're just going to go back in order again. We're going to try to salvage this whole stream. Remember like 5 seconds ago when I was saying we were going to try to save this stream? This is... Wait, what? Oh, I got tricked again. I thought that this decoration right here was my cursor. I thought it was spinning, like the Windows little spinning icon. Okay. That's the second time I've gotten tricked like that. Okay, I'm just gonna open it up. Let's see. TLMC19. What's going on here? There's a lot going on here. Lilith contains two main features. Natural with two passages partially blocked by rocks. Oh, there are two entrances to that. The decorations very much make it extremely difficult to read. I 100% agree. Especially on the low ground. On the low ground, at least from the overview, the low ground it's the choice of decorations, just the doodad fill and stuff, is making it very difficult for me to tell just things and stuff. I don't have that problem as much because it's clear that the low ground texture is so different. Huh. I wonder how those rocks will look in game. It is very noisy. One of the things I've said it a couple times before, but it kind of what's it? Shaw is a map maker whose maps do look very, very good in game, but a lot of the times, like Babylon, I believe. Babylon, I originally... Oh, no, SC2. I spelled it wrong, too, I think. And for some reason now my Google is... What happened? I have so many... Today, my browser downloaded like 10 extensions. Something happened there. I'll figure that out later. Okay, so it is still incredibly noisy in-game. Or, well, not in-game yet, but... Is that moving? Wait, what the heck? Whoa. Yeah, the cracks are not helping the visual clarity. Did I just give up on looking at Babylon? What was I doing? Babylon, though, is an example of a map where I didn't. It looks pretty good in game, but I originally didn't like the aesthetics because this is kind of my limit for noise generally in game. Yeah, the grassy but the grassy parts look a lot better in game. Don't worry. They look so much better in game. It's just, especially from the overview, they look awful, but they're much, much better in game. Oh. So it was this bad. Huh. Well, either way, it'd be something that could be changed or helped in or after iteration, in or during iteration phase and all that. This, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't change HDR on low graphics, right? Like, or custom color does work, but HDR doesn't, I believe, if I remember correctly. Does this have high HDR? Okay, no, it doesn't have high HDR. No, they're all 2. HDR does not appear. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's a lot lower HDR than I thought, but that I'll have to check it out on low graphics. The crater models are on all low ground bases. Well, this is, thankfully, the lighting on this is quite bright. I almost feel like I should... Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was just doing that. To look at all this. And we'll need to turn on this. Yeah, that's so much better. What is it before? Even that little bit of time. Yeah, even that little bit of time where I had the doodads off now lets me read it with the doodads on better. Though not easy. I think the cracks are the worst offender. There is a map under all this doodad. Okay. First map we're going to judge without the stuff on. Time to read mapmaker comments. Natural 2 passageways blocked by rocks, which create 2 different wall-offs. Regular 3 structures between rocks, or 2. I do not like the big Protoss circle splats. They have no margins and clip into clip spaces. Yep. Spacing between spaces is not great. Like double, just nothing. Regular 3 structures between rocks or smaller walls for each individually to make use of high ground. Rich gases can be taken and threatened but not seen from 2 sides, which could lead to serious resource fights in late game. Unless your opponent has a tank. Assumedly. Yeah, no, unless your opponent has a tank. Or Broodlords or Tempest or anything that has range, really. I don't see any situation where, oh, wow, those are interestingly placed bases. How small is this? Okay, really small, actually. I don't see any situation where both players are mining this at the same time. I'm just checking gases because I already noticed they didn't have any comments about it, but this gas is in the rock. Like, you're not going to be able to build this gas. Let me just double check, but I think I'm right. Publish. No. I'm just gonna go ahead and publish all of the TLMC maps. Yes, it 100% is intersecting there. It's unbuildable. It's 100% unbuildable, but I want to give them the final benefit of the doubt here, because that's an uh-ohsies. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. 1, 2. Are my settings down lower? Alright. Zoom out, and I just gave my nexus to the enemy. That's funny.
Big job.
Okay, so first thing, how is this buildable? No. Asymmetrically buildable? No. This is incredible. I have never seen this before. But that explains it. The fact they are abusing, whether incidentally or on purpose, are abusing the fact that the assimilator is smaller before you build it. So once you build it, it's going to be bigger.
Gotcha.
I'm also kind of surprised that this guy can move through. There's some black magic going on. I'm kind of scared.
What's going on?
Yeah, I gotta test this. Give me a second. This is black magic. This is freaking black magic.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, so this should be, give me this. No, give me this. Alright, so it was right here. What? What? What?
Okay.
What? Like, I shouldn't be getting caught up on this, but... This... We might have just had another event where somebody's so lucky,
Yep.
it became so lucky that they ruptured the space-time continuum.
You're the boss.
That is a different shape. They somehow modified the buildable shape of the rocks, but only in game.
Game.
What is this? 6x6? Like it wasn't changed in here. No, it wasn't changed in here. Rocks. Melee, neutral, terrain. And that would be rocks x1, 6x6. And it would be this footprint, which is unedited. Wait, footprint 4x4. No, that's not. That's because I clicked on it, I think. No, it's the same for all rocks. Yeah, I am getting hung up on this just because I've never seen this before and this is insane. Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, I was just very confused. What's the nat wall off look like anyways? Restart this from here. I was getting hung up on something that actually doesn't matter at all. It's just that I might use that at some point. Yeah.
You scared me. Yeah. Gotcha.
Alright, so how's this gonna work? Just do it in here. Okay, so 2 there. Is that a wall? That's not a wall. So Lings could get through here. Or you could wall like this. It could technically be 3. That is a wall. Let's see if I can replicate. I'm not exactly sure where to put the pylon. Huh? Oh, that's a mistake. I didn't change that, did I? No, I didn't. This should be... Let me reopen the downloaded version. That's not good. We'll just build that off center for the moment. I mean, yeah, no, this is fine. Doodad footprints are also messed up. Where are Doodad footprints messed up? Not lined up. Reload from disk. Yes, please. I want to make sure I didn't accidentally screw up anything because this seems strange. Oh, you mean like these two? Or near some edges just in general? Yeah, I'm going to leave QA out of it for a while because I've looked at that a bit just now. I'm just going to start looking at the whole picture here. Because I'll waste time on QA later, but this is definitely an issue. Pinged in the Discord, okay. Oh, yeah, you're just talking about... Yeah, the minerals... Well, the minerals need to be shifted regardless. Yeah, you're thinking like that is basically what you're thinking. or just something like that. It's just a mistake. It would be fixed. That's an iteration thing. That's the entire reason we have iteration. But this is a wall, 2003. Okay, there we go. Doodads are off. First base, second base, third. For sure you can't walk through that single gate. That single gate, yeah, you can. The hitboxes look a little bit weird. Immortals are not bigger. Just make unit. Yeah, so tanks can't fit through that, but everything else can. What does the Zerg wall off look like? Well, assuming... Hold up. Oh. The wall off, the minerals look like they're fine on the top. Yeah, the minerals are fine on the top. It's an asymmetry issue. Frickin' editor. Okay, the Zerg is going to be walling like that. You can get through there. I mean, it pretty much works. Oh, wait, no, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, this is a full wall. Yeah, with a queen that's good enough, or you take the gas. The gas also works. And the gas is really cheap, so that's not an issue. So you can full wall really easily with... Yeah, this is a good wall. It was just a little confusing for a second because there is that tiny little spot where units can fit through if you don't have a gas. Which would not be self-evident. But, yeah, it is. I also think it's cool. So Zerg wall off is fine. Terran wall off, I am not very much of an expert in how Terran walls off because it seems like Terran is the only race that doesn't really care how it walls off, just that it doesn't take too many buildings, you know? Because if Protoss and Zerg can wall it off, it seems to me that Terran can pretty much always wall it off just fine with a few buildings. Am I wrong? So I'm gonna when I'm looking at stuff, I'm gonna use the top left of the map because there may be some more symmetry problems in the bottom right. If there was that one. Because it seems like they got screwed by the editor again in some way or another, and it's clear that this was the side they were working on. So I'm going to treat this, because obviously glitches are easily fixed. Anyways. First, second, and then I think this should always be the third, pretty much. Wait, no, there's this rich gas. This rich gas base could easily be taken as the third, and proxy Ravager stuff is going to enjoy a double rich gas right here with the ability to walk up this ramp over here and have not high ground, but you know what I mean, like same ground into the mat. But that of course is specific cheese. But that's my automatic thought for rich gases because I love that build. As for any other build as well, just taking this as a third. I mean, wouldn't this, if you can hold this, wouldn't you just be pretty good? Let's see. Tanks. How do you do tankaroonies? Why can't I? There you go. Interesting note is that tanks up here on the high ground in the main, which kind of feels like it's a bit of small main as well, but tanks here on the high ground on the main are not really going to help you at the hold the nat. They only extend to right here, which is really just the rock, so it's going to only get a couple hits off if you're coming in this entrance. If you're coming in this entrance, it's not going to help at all, so you're going to have to be on the low ground. The entire map feels kind of small as well. There is dead space for stuff here and all that. Let's see. There's a lot of glowing things. First, second. I don't really see this as a real third option much. Let's see. What's the attack map? Go cross. What did they say the rush distance was? Rush distance, ramp to ramp is 32 seconds. Really? Huh. It's a relatively straight shot except for that one spot in the direct center. How do you hold tanks that are at your third base? Assuming this is the third. That's the neat part. I mean... on the high ground. On your third base on the high ground. I'm assuming you're talking about the triangle. No, don't look at this side. Look at this side. Like literally at... Oh! Like over here or something. Right? Right? I'm a little slow. This can also hit the nat. How much can this hit? Yep. Yep, it does. And it's really, really close. I mean, if you're a Zerg and you're playing against a Terran, won't you want to break down both of these sets of rocks? Although, this is a 2x. So this map, a lot of pieces of this map feel awkward. Is another thing I want to say. Like, some of these maps, the one on the right, this one. Well, your Zerglings die trying to break the rock, but unless you're breaking it down earlier. I mean, if he gets into this position and the rocks are up, then you're dead, I think. How big is this? Yep. Not very big. I also don't really see how you move into this area. Some of these maps, Like the gigahertz map as well. Gigahertz is another one where it feels like the thing they were going for with gigahertz and Lilith here is really small map dimensions. Maybe Lilith is going for that. I'm not entirely sure, but it is quite small. It really feels like, especially the naturals, have a hard time with positioning. For gigahertz, it really was just tank spots everywhere, and that's obviously a lot of the time a big problem. I don't know. 8 gigahertz when you play. Yep. Thus we see the inevitable issue. This map doesn't have nearly as many problems with tanks, which is a good thing, but it doesn't have a lot of room for anything, really. I don't... Definitely better than gigahertz, I think. Well, not I think. It is better than gigahertz, especially when just considering that it's in any way playable. It's got the cool nat wall off. If both players take their triangle third, ironically, they're going to be going further away from each other instead of closer to each other like normal. Especially since this area exists, which is completely unpathable. So in order to come up to this third from the opponent's side of the map, you come through this middle area and up this ramp or this ramp with no real rotation unless you're going over here and then in, I guess. Well, I guess that's what you do, but you're coming through here, or you're going around a super long way to come up this ramp. I don't know. I don't know about this one. This base also seems incredibly hard to hold. Because you're not, like, expanding this way to gain access to more bases. This is really the only base in the area, unless you're taking the base that your opponent has. You're not taking this base. Heck no. So I guess this base and the similar one on the bottom become the ones that you fight over later on. I don't know. The dimensions of everything feel very cramped in areas, and I feel like this map could probably be improved a good amount by just making it bigger so that you have more space to correctly do everything that you're trying to do here. Because they've got some interesting stuff, though. Having a double rich gas. I don't buy into the idea that anybody will ever be mining the other side of this rich gas. It's like a redshift, but only the gases are the exposed part. Funny. I don't know. I'm not super excited about this one. This one I think is also very non-noob friendly for that wall off. I think that wall off is really bad for non-experienced players. Is it broken? Is it like an unplayable map? No, I guess not. Not really. There are some really good tank spots. But if you break the rocks, they should be fine. But is it a good map? I don't know. Also, the visual... I know we're not supposed to judge based off of visuals or decorations or anything. But one thing that would have to change with this map is the clutter, or the visual noise. It is omnipresent. That's a fun effect, though. but it's very difficult. This is the only map where I've turned off doodads while judging it, it feels like it is kind of crossing the border from aesthetics to gameplay in a bit. So best case scenario, that's something that would just get changed during judging, or not judging, iteration. But again, I feel like a lot of the ways you move around the map are very awkward. Like this whole area right here is very awkward. Just this entire area. You have this base that you have to back up into, or that you have to have right here, that you want to keep close enough to your natural to be okay. But you also have to have an open space here and here. And you can't push these things around that much because tanks and because stuff. Actually, honestly, one thing they could do is they could move this path a little bit towards the main. It just runs into this space a little bit. I don't know. I think the whole thing needs a bit more cooking, at the very least. And I think it needs to be bigger. I think it needs to be a good bit bigger. Maybe not a good bit bigger, but... Yeah. I'm going to go on to the next one. What should I say for this? It's impressive how many tank spots they did end up being able to deny on that map, though. Because with a map with the dimensions like this, with so many bases so close together and so much going on, apart from the thing where you should just link this YouTube video with a timestamp in the comments. What do you mean? Wait, why would I put timestamps? This is an important tank spot, though. You have to wrap all the way around to get to it. The enemy is never really going to mind the... Oh, for every map? I might do that, but I probably would... And if somebody gives me... It would be a lot easier if you'd put comments for each timestamp, because I am tight on time. Yeah. I'm going too slowly already. I need to speed up because this is only kind of my first path. What the heck? Pass through. I want to do a second pass through where I look at what my notes were and then I make a final decision. Yeah, I'm going way too slowly. Yeah, 100%. I've seen this one before, previous TLMC. Definitely need to speed up a bit. I'm definitely also going to do some on my own because, like Kill Switch over here. Kill Switch I looked at on my own, and I went through it pretty quickly on what I was actually thinking. I think streaming slows me down a good amount. So I might start looking through a lot of these on my own, and then just summarizing kind of what I think. Yeah, if I take 10 minutes for what's 800 minutes? 13 hours is actually very manageable. I could probably take... Oh, well, is it manageable? Let's see. I could probably take a good 15 minutes per map, but I am not reaching that time. So I'm going to look at these for future streams. I'm going to have already looked at these on my own and basically come in here for you guys and just kind of summarize what I'm thinking. Yeah. Because I like the idea of recording. What was that? I like the idea of recording my thoughts on each of these for you guys because that's kind of what you're here for. But going through and actually analyzing these is probably going to be about as easy on my own. Anyways, this. Matt, make your comments. Island base is surrounded in singular air blockers, allowing for all units to fit through except command centers. These air blockers also create many tight chokes, making it more defensible against large ground or air units. Okay, so it's not pathable by ground. Large grounds or air units. I don't know what they mean by large grounds of air units. I assume it's groups. Yes. Yes, I definitely agree. Just going a lot quicker on stream and just kind of not trying to do the full analysis, yeah. Below the island base is a tight path combined with speed zones to allow for quick army movement but can be blocked off via rocket tower. I'm going to read this off my second monitor. So there's the rock tower, speed zones, allow quick army movement. How big is this in here? Pretty good, those are 2 X's. The speed zones definitely help a lot, making that actually a place you can go. The hybrid island base and gold base both serve as contestable bases in the late game. This one, and probably that one. That one feels like it's going to be really hard to take. With the island base being a potential expansion earlier on. Okay. Pacific's rim size is a rush map and unique twist plays to its advantage to create many interesting scenarios, allowing for many playstyles and types of games. So, rush distance is 32 seconds. Wait. Ramp to ramp distance, okay. But the ramps are a little bit further ahead. I think they might have measured ramp to ramp from this ramp to this ramp, because the difference in ramp to ramp and rush to I'm having a stroke. The distance between rush distance and nat to nat is like 7 seconds, where usually I think the ramp to ramp is somewhere over here. Anyways. Main, nat, normal third base options, linear triangle. That's all kind of basically standard. Yeah, it's pretty standard. A little bit open. The main thing to look at is just this. If you're moving through here, and the opponent sees that, they are going to screw you so hard trying to come up that ramp. I guess you can just turn around, but yeah. So I guess that's more a harassment path or something, because you're not going to be able to fit that much through it, and if they see you coming, it's going to be... seeing you coming doesn't really matter when it's that short. Whatever. I mean, this is just solid. There's not really many issues with it. The main question is whether or not this... I did not notice. These are 900s. These are normals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. All the rich ones are 900s, which means that this is going to be a really, really quick burst, and then it's gonna. That's kind of interesting. I've seen that a few times. Normal gas amounts, I assume. I'm feeling paranoid about checking, and go in here, check wall off. I'm not using the dependency anymore. That's just for tanks sieging faster. I forgot to delete that thing. Oh well. I did this wrong, but obviously works. Do something more like... I'm bad at walling. There we go. There we go. Alright. Why does it keep feeling like my settings are going down? Beautiful. Can even do it in a couple more ways. That's all good. Oh, that's a Reaper jump spot. That's a Reaper jump spot. What was it? Mace unit. Stalker. Yeah, this is I'm ready to make some life readjustments after this one. Yep, normal. That's funny they come around. About average, about what I'd expect. I mean, it really is just a very standard map, but with, well, not that, up here, with this island base. I don't really have a ton to contribute to that. There aren't any really great tank spots in here or anything to speak of.
What's that? Give us your best shot.
How much can you cover here? Pretty good coverage. I don't know. I don't have much. Oh, is that a slight... some slight miscoloring or whatever here. Yeah, it's just a really good standard map. I don't have much else. It's not super freestyle other than this corner right here. That's really the freestyle section of the map. Can you blink stalkers? That is a great question. Yes. Not super easily, but yes. You could probably blink train. Let's... And without vision too. Yeah, pretty reliably blink train, and I'm not very good at it. Or I haven't done it very often. So that's actually huge. That actually makes it really good for Protoss, I think. At least, yeah, no. I'm trying to think of a situation where this would be nice for anyone else. And the biggest thing with these air blockers is that, of course, you can't just lift a CC in there. It is cute to watch him try. Yeah, the biggest thing is you can't lift a CC in there. So Terran can't just go in there. They at the very least have to use a medevac, which they will definitely have. Yes, that could be easy. Is that a problem? I guess it might be. Because that really makes it hard for anyone else to hold it if Protoss just is existent. I don't know. That is kind of a lot more fine with me for PvT, but for PvZ, that is really rough. I don't know. It's just a solid map. I don't know what else really. I'm just gonna write up a quick note. I keep having to move this around so that I can actually see my other monitor. So the main thing with island bases, even with this one, is for me that I feel like, despite it being attempted at the very least to make it as good or as equal for Zerg as possible, Zerg is the only race that doesn't naturally get a. The freestyle characteristic is not necessary. No, it's not a part of the scoring guide. Not really. And as for me scoring, I don't think I'm really going to take points off for it something not being freestyle enough. I think that's kind of a douche move. Like, if it's overtly just nothing at all about it is different from a normal game. Like, if it's a super standard map, then I'm probably going to knock points off. But this is freestyle. I mean, it's an island. There is an island base. That's freestyle enough for me. So I think I'm probably just going to grade it kind of off of what it is, not off of extra points for it being freestyle. It's just kind of a personal preference that the only real thing that's different is that there's an island base, It's not a bad map. I'm going to move on, though, for time. Ghost River. I've seen this one as well. Oh gosh. There we go. I just can't stop doxing myself, really. It's a talent, some say. Alright. Ghost River. Toss and Terran can easily take the... Yeah. That's what I was about to say. I don't know why I got distracted. Protoss and Terran both naturally, and pretty much every single game without fail, make some kind of transportation that allows them to get on an island base. Whether that's medevacs, which are by default part of most build orders for Terran, or almost all build orders for Terran, or warp prisms, which are a critical part just of Protoss in general. Both of those are built into the race and built into the meta. They will have them in basically every game. But for Zerg, you actually have to spend money to upgrade overlords or spend money to upgrade their speed. Yeah, like you said, speed and Overlord. And the problem here is also that this isn't including defending the base. Because, especially if Stalkers can blink onto the base, then you're not going to be able to defend that base with Zerg unless you have, I don't know, like a Nidus or something, or a crap ton of Spines or something. Zerg is naturally going to be at a pretty good disadvantage, no matter what, when it comes to island bases, simply because they have to intentionally go into air transport or Nidus or stuff like that. And additionally, their way of reinforcing is, yeah, it's I think I'd agree just from a Zerg standpoint on that. Even without it, it is still pretty. I feel like it's pretty. Let's see. It does favor Zerg. I think I agree with the take of removing the ability to blink Stalkers, though, on that area. Because Zerg really, really sucks on moving units to and from islands. Terran is the best, because they've got medevacs naturally, and they already do this in maps that don't have islands. And Protoss have warp prisms, which just let them harass extremely easily, regardless of islands. So, like, a Zealot Warpin is going to be probably able to wipe out that base in most scenarios, unless you had a Nidus, or you had permanent units on that base. Yeah, Nidus. Nidus is what I would imagine Zerg would need to do to get that base. But that's an investment of, in order to take the base, assuming your opponent doesn't take it, and you do, if you want to defend it with a Nidus, then there is still, if they warp in a bunch of Zealots, they still could have quite a few situations where they just kill the Nidus while it's unloading before it can unload enough to help. Or not. Even if not, then it's still an investment of money. It's still an investment of, what's it, 75 minerals, 75 gas, I think it is, for a single Nidus. And then you also have to build the worm. And then you also have to have units close enough to the worm, or in the worm, to unload on the other side whenever they come in. Because if you aren't quick about unloading, or you're out of position, then the time it takes to load and unload is also going to be really bad, you know? Because the Nidus Worm is kind of it's highly APM expensive, it's got some actual expense, and you have to be in position to be able to use it, is basically it. So you would pretty much need to have multiple Niduses if you want to be in position to defend that base. It's just, I don't think that, I think the island base is directly not good for Zerg. But what is good for Zerg would be that gold blaze, like you said, over, is it over here? Yeah, it's over here. This gold base and that normal base would be probably a bit better for Zerg. The only concern is that how much can Zerg actually also attack into that island base? Because if you're going Mutas or something, then that island base can still be defended by 4 Widow Mines and a couple missile turrets from Mutas, or a planetary and a few missile turrets. They would have to invest a little bit of money, but that would be extremely hard to break if it was like what's it called? A planetary with missile turrets. And then as the only thing I can think of there, maybe you would be dropping, I don't know, like lurkers to try to harass that or something. Which, one Liberator, a planetary, and 4 turrets should be able to defend that forever. Because otherwise you're going to need to start mass dropping. I don't know. It gets kind of iffy, especially because It's not connected by ground at all, which means, yes, you have to do all that airdropping and stuff that requires APM and money and all that kind of stuff, and you have a lowered amount of units that you can put in the area. But also, your opponent probably doesn't have to defend that base as much. Like, they're not going to leave very many units over there. They're probably going to be pretty free to explore the rest of the map on their own and just kind of treat that island base like it's safe. So with the gold and this other base in the corner, it is kind of Zerg favored, but Zerg can't necessarily just say, you're attacking me in this gold base over here, I'm going to rotate over to that island. And that's kind of one of the points of the island. But you can't just rotate over there and attack that. So Terran doesn't have to really care as much about defending or leaving units on that side of the map, which means that they can really just focus on more one front. Additionally, this base, this linear third, if those rocks are down, or even if they're not, I feel like this linear third is relatively easy to defend. It's kind of hard to get surrounds or whatever going, because this whole the top left area of the map is, of course, blocked out pathing wise. You can't just get a surround, come in multiple angles to the third like normal, unless you go through this path, which I guess kind of works. I don't know. It's not many chokes the Terran has to defend. Are you checking? I have not been checking for how far away third bases are. Isn't it like 2 tumors or something? I'm mostly playing it by eye. Huh. That is an interesting thing to do almost exclusively. I mean, it does matter how far away the third bases are, but if a third base is really far away, were there any maps? Yeah. How easy it was to take and hold. I kind of play it by eye, and I think one thing that's a little more important than how far away it is directly is how, and he's probably going to not like kill switch if he's checking how far away it was, because I think the chokes you have going into the base and the places you have to defend are maybe not as important, but very important. Kill switch, one of the things I did notice was I was very much worried about how far away the bases are. It gets kind of jank. I have no idea what to do for kill switch. It's really cool and I really like it, but I'm not sure what to do with that one. Anyways. I mean, sounds like he's taking care of it though as well. I haven't played nearly as much Terran. Terran is my worst race by far. It's about like 2 leagues below my other races. So I mostly am thinking of playing against Terran and what they do, which is admittedly a bit of a flaw, but I don't know. Let me know if it looks further away. But so far I haven't really noticed it. Zerg really doesn't care at all. Ghost River, bottom text. Oh my, why am I lagging? Well, let me know if it's especially bad. If I don't notice, I should probably notice because I kind of eyeball it. Oh, wow. I feel like I'm getting hinted at right now, though. Small chokes and siege tank spots. As always, masters. Yes, I have been checking. The one of the biggest things I've been always looking at is the tank spots and chokes. But I have not been looking at distance. I don't think I've been weighing distances very heavily. Anyways, on to this map. Might make your comments. Ghost River is a rush map with 6 bases per player and only one third base option. Yep, the uppermost path between the players is blocked with 6 mineral patches with the value of 10 each plus a destructible rock. There is no OB pillar at the natural, plenty of airspace, lots of rocks, and some line of sight blockers on paths. It also uses 4 cliff levels to add some extra spice. There's a healing shrine in the bottom of middle area of the map. I do not like that sentence. Or the insinuation of that sentence. Like, I just added it to add something to spice things up. I just don't like the insinuation. Because I always feel like it's better to... hypocritically, I feel like it's always better to intentionally put things in, but I digress. That looked like writing. Okay, so main, nat, third, fourth. Oh. I know it's so hypocritical. Anyways. I don't have a fifth. I mean, I kind of, but... This is really pretty. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look in game. Top rocks or spawning pools. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of, I'm kind of looking at everything and occasionally thinking, what if there were 1,400 spawning pools on this map? I'd kind of be interested to look into what the complaints were last time and then compare the changes to this time to see how it's better. What's the rush distance beforehand? 31 seconds. It's going to be really quick. I also like, I really like that it's half rock, half mineral fields. I like that just in general. It's gonna be kind of interesting. Yeah. It is the freestyle aspect. It's gonna be interesting to see that. I mean, let's see. You have in complete opposition to every other to many of the other maps here. Let's see. In complete opposition to many of the other maps in this TLMC, this one actually very, very, very much limits your ability to choose where you're expanding. Wait, is this a technically 4 levels, or is this an actually 4 levels? Okay, no, it's in 2 spots at least. Okay. I was gonna say, like, I thought for a second there it only had 4 levels of terrain and the 4th level in one spot. Seems solid mostly. Yes, the rocks allow you to actually force the issue instead of the opponent putting just a couple units there to stop them from ever being mined out. Though there isn't really, if there was just a pure mineral wall, there would never be any reason to mine out the mineral wall entirely, unless you thought you could also mine out the opponent's mineral wall, I feel like. Because there's nothing past that area. There's not a base on the top there that you could gain access to and potentially mine. It's just another attack path to get into your enemy's base. A nice attack path, but I mean, it's going to be hard to mine out an opponent's pure mineral wall. I kind of have the thought process of mineral walls are generally rarely mined out by attackers. So they're generally for opening up new defensive angles. Especially like on Stargazers, it always felt like, I feel like Stargazer's implementation of a mineral wall was not very good. I just feel like it didn't work that well. But I digress. I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty standard, pretty good. Let me see. I wanted to check out that that wall at the net, because there was something a little bit weird with the Evo chambers. What are the rotations like? Oh my goodness, I can't see this. I don't want to turn on the vision mode because then I'd get nuked by the editor. But I also want to use the vision mode there. But tanks on this high ground could pretty well hold this bottom side. Really help you take this base. And of course it is quite split map because we're not really going to be over here. We're not going to really be over here taking any opponent's bases. Which is of course balanced out by how close it is to each other. That was wrong. Okay, it works. You don't think Terrence? If they take this base, no? Just 1 or 2?
Give us your best shot. What's that? Go ahead. What's our target? Need something blown up? Lay it on me. Got no patience for speak up.
Ooh, that's quite nice.
Got no what's our target?
Less nice because of the rocks, but quite nice.
Give us your best
I
shot.
don't know over here.
Need something blown up?
I can't handle how slow this is.
Lay it on me.
What about over here?
What's that?
Okay, not really an issue over here. I do remember looking at this last time and making predictions for last TLMC. That is a hostile Zelnaga healing shrine.
Go ahead. Yes,
Ladies and
sir.
gentlemen, comedy.
What's that?
I remember looking at this last time, and I remembered seeing something about how either the gases or the minerals or the base or something was within tank range. I'm glad to see that got fixed.
Lay it on me.
Yeah, no really abusive stuff here.
Speak up.
I'm not sure. It's not something I'd judge on anyways. I'll try it.
Need something blown up.
Just get over here. That river does look really cool. The whole aesthetic of this map is amazing.
Now, give us your best shot.
Hostile Zelnaga's
Speak up.
hostile Zelnaga
What's
healing shrines do not heal.
blown up?
Would definitely need to be fixed. Healing shrine is broken. Well, it would be. I'm just looking at where you would want to put tanks. Although yes, and also yeah, no, you can just walk up to it right here, can't you? Sure, I'll make a note. Dang it, I should have been writing down more QA notes. Can I get another? Add, insert one column right. Bugs. Naga. Healing shrine. Style. Doesn't heal. Ghost River is a. I already read this. Okay. You can come in here. You can come in here. I don't know. I think I'm gonna move on, but I don't know what to think. It is just solid. Was there anything I wanted to remember specifically for later? When rocks are down, extremely fast rush. Yes, there is very much not a fifth option. Which I thought, so with actually Oceanborn also kind of shares this a little bit. Oceanborn really struggles with fifths, I feel like. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4, but then this is your fifth or this is your fifth. Unless you're taking the other fourth, but you know, it gets a little slimy on this map. But that wasn't really an issue, that big of an issue. But on this one, it is just the same issue, but more pronounced. Okay. Yeah, the biggest thing I think is probably just going to be that. No fifth option. Tear Drinker. I think I'm going to have a break and go eat. When I come back, I'll probably do the rest of Rush. Oh, I might not be back on tonight. I'm probably going to look at these on my. Oh my goodness. I'm probably going to look at the rest of these on my, or the rest of Rush at least on my own, and then maybe just summarize them briefly on stream when I come back. Anemone. Anemone. You know what this makes me think of? This theme. This theme actually makes me think of Wavebreaker by Avex. Avex? I think it's Avex. Wavebreaker. I liked Wavebreaker. It was cool. Wavebreaker would fit in pretty well with this TLMC. This is interesting what's going on here, though. Now I'm just clicking everything. Oh, this feels like... So it says briefly blocked by low HP rocks. I'm assuming that's that little garage is. Feels like that would be a good one to. That would be a good one to potentially put a Zerg building on. If you wanted to briefly block, if they wanted to briefly block it. Is that a bunch of mineral patches? I don't see any additional images. Yes, an enemy. Anemone. Oh. I see that. Okay, thanks. I'll look at that in a minute. I got back into this map, apparently. Thank you for doxing me, Google. I'm just going to go ahead and flash my home address on screen for like 0.5 seconds. Huh. I haven't seen this one before either. Yeah, thinking about it, I can probably guess as well. I have a guess, but I'm not sure if it's right. That gold blaze is very exposed. Narrow passages around the map. Oh, the neon violet square things. Okay. Okay, interesting. Layered base behind triangle third. Neon violet hole. So yes. Layered base behind triangle third is blocked by a group of rocks. You can open only half the rocks to have easy access, or you can open it all and make it very widely. Depends on the. Oh, they don't mean actually blocked. They just mean the entrance is blocked by that. Okay. Front natural ramp is blocked with rocks and a mineral wall. Yeah, okay, we've seen that before. Oh, different rocks, but we've seen that kind of thing before. This is four levels, yeah. I dig the aesthetic too. Though clearly this stream, it has been made very clear that it does not take much to impress me with aesthetic. If it just looks good, well, I mean, of course that's subjective. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Though I'm not sure about the efficacy of mining both of these mineral lines at the same time with one base, because you just need a lot more. That is more neon violet squares or holes. I'm not sure about the efficacy of mining both these bases at the same time, minerals wise, because like if you have, oh yeah, they're decals. Because if you have, you're going to need a lot more workers to saturate that. Is basically just the whole thing that I'm trying to say there. But I mean, it's definitely doable. It's not that much further. It's definitely quite close. It's probably as close as you can get without having tanks in range. They might still be in range. No. Not reduced gold. And actually, this seems like it's going to be quite bad for Blink. And no, you just knock down these rocks and you come in. Well, actually, wait a minute. What the heck? What the heck? There's two entrances. Okay, so two entrances to the Nat. A pillar at the Nat. This one's blocked by those rocks. It will matter a lot how much HP those rocks have. Okay, I am going to go eat before I open this in the editor, but my interest is 100% peaked with this one. Very interesting. They used several features, or two features? Yeah, they used two freestyle features in this map. Pretty much is what I would consider freestyle features, which is the this base, and well, maybe three, because this having two entrances here is big too. But the other thing is the neon violet holes. Okay, I might be back later. I might not. Just see what this is. That'll be something to unpack. Okay, a lot of text. Not going to get into that yet. I will probably be back later. I'll let you guys know if I will be streaming again. But I'm definitely going to go get something to eat for now. Alright, bye.